Man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh boy. Oh boy. What a movie. I'll talk about Covenant in a little bit, I guess. There's not really much to talk about, which is unfortunate for that kind of a film. I mean, it's pretty bad, y'all. It's pretty bad. Worse than Resurrection? I don't know, man. I'd have to watch Resurrection again. I remember Resurrection being dog shit. This one was dog shit. It's like I'd have to put the dog shits right next to each other and, you know, judge which one is shittier. Oh man, it's bad. Here's a line from the film. No one knows the loneliness of my perfect dreams. This is an alien movie. It's fucked up. It's an alien movie. I really, you know, maybe I'll download it once it becomes available somewhere, and I'll go through and I will find out exactly how much screen time the alien gets in Alien Covenant. Rated out of 10. Through the lens of an Alien film, if I'm looking at it through the lens of Alien as a franchise, it's a 2. Probably. If just looking at it, trying to think of it as a popcorn flick, it's a 3. I would be shocked if the Alien has 15 minutes of screen time in this ponderous fucking 2-hour and 10-minute movie. It's pretty bad, y'all. I wanted to like it too, dude. I'm a fan of the franchise. I went in there. Oh, dude, this Prometheus blows this out of the water. If you hated Prometheus, you're gonna really hate this one. I'm not a Prometheus hater. I don't think it's the best movie ever made or anything, but I didn't hate it more than Joker and the Suicide Squad. I mean, I'm more emotionally connected to this franchise than I am the Joker, so for me, it was worse. I mean, they're both dog shit. But this one, man, this one is weird. Not in a good way either. Not in a, like, head scratcher, like, wow, I really want to think about this. Just the choices in the script. The shooting of the action is weird. I don't know, man. It's like it's two movies trying to be one movie. It's like Ridley Scott decided that he wanted to make this like Blade Runner-esque, you know, Philip K. Dick android movie about the ethics of creating something that can learn you know, whatever, and Alien. And it doesn't work. It fails on both fronts. It's like too shitty to be an Alien film and too shitty to be a deep reflection on the ethics of making androids and blah 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 blah, the nature of life, etc., etc. It's trying to be way deeper. I mean, that line, can I say that line for you guys again? Nobody knows the lonely perfection of my dreams. I cringed out loud, dude. I cringed out loud in the theater. I was like, mm. No one knows what it's like to be me. A creatorless creation, doomed to serve or be outcast. It's like, oh no, no, no. This is Alien. Alien. Yeah, I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. It's just filled with moments like that. Okay, I guess spoiler alert. I'm gonna spoil something for you guys. You know that thing that they do in movies where somebody loses their spouse and they get really sad? You know what I mean? That it's a really cheap emotional button to have somebody's spouse taken from them, right? I want you guys to guess how many times they do that in Alien Covenant. You want to take a guess? I'll wait. Go ahead. They do it 3 times. 4 was very close. A lot of 4 guesses. They do it 3 fucking separate times. The absolute cheap emotional pop of no, my spouse. Come here, let me comfort you through this hard time. 3 times in this movie. This movie's over 2 hours long. Alright, here's another spoiler for you guys. There's a dude, and I knew this movie was going to be shit pretty early on, because there's a line pretty early on. The captain of the Covenant ship, he says he's just recently become the captain because the previous captain's killed in an accident, right? And has to take over that responsibility. And he kind of tries to be a hard ass to establish his position, and the crew goes behind his back and does something, and he sees it, and he's like talking to his wife, and he's like, they don't respect me. They're defying a direct order. And she was like, they just lost their captain. You have to give them some time. We don't have time, blah, blah. He goes on. Here's the line. He goes, you know what it is? It's because I'm a believer. Or no, how did he say it? It's because I have faith. They think that because I have faith that I can't make rational, logical decisions. And I was like, no, Ridley, no. What? No, don't do this. Please don't do this. Don't do this again. And Prometheus, it was ham-fisted and shitty. But you know what? It goes nowhere. It's heavily, heavily played up that this dude is religious. But it goes nowhere. Has no bearing on the plot. The dude dies about halfway through the fucking film, unceremoniously. I mean, with no real religious... I guess there's... they try and do this religious symbolism thing. But it just seemed like ham-fisted, horrible, shoveled in. No, I don't hate this movie because it's a Christian film. I hate this movie for a number of reasons, including the weird injection of Christianity to no fucking plot end. No, I don't mind a Christian film, but I don't think this film qualifies as a Christian film. No, it's a 2 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Conservative. That's being real generous with it. The movie is awesome. Paul is garbage. You're full of fucking shit. No, guys, no. This was not a good film. Oh, man, it was bad. Let me explain. Here's another spoiler. There is a... How many times have we seen this in movies in the last 10 years? There is a kung fu fight in an Alien film. Let that sink in. There's a kung fu fight in an Alien film. Yeah. Yeah, there's a kung fu fight in there. Yeah, there's a kung fu fight in there. They weaved in a kung fu fight. For those of you out there that are looking for that kung fu. No, not like a sparring match, like an actual life and death kung fu fight between two androids. Android kung fu. In an alien movie. TBH, I don't see how that's inherently bad. Yeah, dude, throw a kung fu fight in there. How could it be inherently bad to throw a kung fu fight in, apropos of nothing, into any fucking film? You know what would have really spiced up Schindler's List? A kung fu fight. Oh, man, dude. Man. It was like 5 seconds. It was like 5 seconds of pure agony. I was like, really? They're gonna do a kung fu fight? Do I like H.R. Giger? Yeah. Of course I do. The visual mind behind the aliens, right? Paul didn't like the movie because he didn't have a swimming pool as a child. That must be it, dude. That must be it. The Giger, I mean, like, yeah, the alien designs in this film are weird too, man. There's a scene, whatever, a chest burster comes out, right? And you remember in the first movie, the chest burster was like a larval form. It had a long tail and it, chest burster. And then in the second movie, it got hands. And you know what I mean? Because they wanted to have that. So it's this tiny little thing. In this movie, they have one stand up as out of the chest wound. You know what I mean? It doesn't scuttle away. It stands up and raises its little arms. And it looks like a dried up old little man just standing there. And you're thinking, like, what a weird pose to put this fucking creature in. It's all in furtherance of some weird pseudo-Christian iconography thing. Fucking David is standing there with his arms out like this, clearly hearkening Jesus, and the little fucking chest burster stands up and fucking mimics him. I really, really hated this movie. I hated this fucking movie. If you lost both of your arms and legs in a freak accident, and Ashley was still willing to be with you, would you ever seem to look 1,000 more? Dude, at least you paid. At least you paid for it to, the $5 sweetens the fucking blow, you know what I mean? Worse than Prometheus? I actually kind of enjoyed Prometheus, so yes. Yes. Far, far worse. Have I seen any good movies this year? Yeah. I saw Doctor Strange this year and thought that was a pretty cool flick. Logan was good too. Yeah, that's true. I saw that. Why do you have... Paul, do you have the MVP iTaste Pro 3? I think I do, yeah, somewhere. It's very old though. I've had it for like three years, so I don't use it anymore. Aliens is my favorite movie of all time. The second in the franchise is my favorite film of all time. Minute to minute, I cannot think of another film that entertains me more than Aliens. So I would say Aliens. I haven't seen Guardians 2 yet. Remember when Paul complained about Darth Vader having red eyes? So stupid. Dude, you have to wear a gas mask with all that fucking smug. Jesus. Have you seen Life with Ryan Reynolds? Yeah. He had red eyes in A New Hope. Did he have red eyes like the ones in fucking whatchamacallit? With all the little targeting things on them, the little lines through them, like a bug? Were they highlighted in the same way? Bruh. Whatever. Did he walk like he had a fucking broom handle up his ass in A New Hope, too? Did he say stupid shit like, "Don't choke on your aspirations, Admiral"? I love it, dude. Did he live in a puking lava fortress in A New Hope as well? I guess he did now. A fortress that pukes lava out the front of it. A big, gaudy, puking lava fortress is where Darth Vader lives, guys. The hallway scene was badass. It was the only thing in that movie that I liked. And, quite frankly, could have been done as a fan film. If you watch, what's that movie called? That fan movie? Apprentice. Go on fucking YouTube and search Darth Maul Apprentice. And you'll see a movie that is on par with... I mean, I think the lightsaber battles in that movie are better than anything in the prequels, and at least commensurate with that hallway scene. With a little more budget, they could have done it. So, I guess we got to see one cool thing in Rogue One. Maybe that's why they called it Rogue One, dude. Because there was one fucking scene in the film worth watching. Actually, Paul, they called it Rogue One because that was their call sign designation. Thank you, dork. I just preempted you. What's worse, Alien Covenant or Alien... Like I said, dude, somebody asked me that earlier, and I'd have to fucking watch Alien Resurrection again, because I haven't... It's been so fucking long. That was dog shit movie. I remember it being dog shit, and this was a dog shit movie. I just saw it tonight, and it was dog shit, so... What do you think of the scene after the hallway scene? I think that you're fucking banned forever. Because you're a fucking gibberish poster. Puking dog, puking lava fortress. Yeah, dude. They're Dickies socks, dude. Dickies. It was dog shit. Sorry, dude. Dog shit film. Preachy, overly edgy, confused about what it was. It didn't know whether it wanted to be a cyborg film or an alien film or some combination of both. Punctuated by long, ponderous dialogue scenes. Not a single likable character on the cast. I wanted all of them to die. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of the aliens, but I never root for the aliens when I'm watching Alien 2. You know, you want the good guys to win in that movie. Like, it's fucking insane, dude. What do you think about Alien 3? I really like it. And think it gets more hate than it deserves. I don't really like it. I think it's the worst of the trilogy, but I do think it gets a lot more hate than it deserves. I think it's a way better film than people give it credit for. Some of the CG hasn't aged well, and that hurt it quite a bit, I think, in the eyes of people. They really would have been served by using more practical effects in that film, but the age of CG had dawned, and it's one of the early examples of that. It's pretty bad, you know. The dog alien looks like dog shit. But it's at least got the fucking atmosphere of an alien film. It's got the tenseness. It's got that. It's almost like a reimagining of the first film. You know, one alien versus all these horribly underarmed people in a claustrophobic environment. Well, whatever. I mean, you get my drift. They could have just used the puppet. So, Alien Covenant didn't have atmosphere. I guess it did. It had a wildly inconsistent atmosphere. They went from finding the alien ship to walking a couple of miles and finding an ancient alien civilization. It just seemed like it didn't know how many cool places it wanted to show us. That fucking alien civilization bit, I think they should have set the movie there, because that was interesting. The little 15-second vignette we get of David releasing the virus onto that, like, you know, proto Prometheus, you know, kind of fucking civilization that was on this planet. That was kind of cool. But the rest of it was just borrowed. I mean, like, the really memorable and atmospheric areas were borrowed from the original film. They take place inside of, like, that ship, that same fucking ship. The rest of it's a wheat field. Just, I don't know, man. I wouldn't say atmosphere was one of the strong points in this film. I mean, it was moody as fuck, but you gotta be more than moody to get atmosphere points for me. CG Man get destroyed by Matt Dillahunty. I think I did, yeah. How about Fassbender's performance? Okay, I'll give you that. Fassbender had a fucking plum role in this film, because it's clear that Ridley Scott cares more about the character of David than he does about the aliens that are the titular fucking draw for the goddamn film. So David and whatever the other android's name was, who Michael Fassbender also plays. I think it's Walter. David and Walter. Or was it Walter? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, the two androids are the most well-written characters in the film. And they get the most interesting scenes together, although some of them are incredibly overwrought and just completely, like, I don't know, dude, just overwrought fucking moments where, like, it's like message, tink, message, tink, message, tink. It's like, okay, we get it. There are ways of doing this, but it requires more than a 10-15 minute aside in a 2-hour film to develop characters enough to where we'd care about that kind of shit. So it's just flung at us. Immediately, David and Walter are flung into the fucking picture together, and then there's all this deep connection between them because they're both androids. It just doesn't have any basis. It has no basis. There's no structure to it. TJ said he leg pressed 390 for 5 reps. Can you leg press more? No, I don't even think I could push up 390. How many bad choices did the characters make in Covenant? Countless. Bumbling. It's a constant string of failures, honestly, in the film until the end, when finally, I guess, they get the alien off the ship. but it's just like bad move, terrible decision, horrible decision. There's this point, right? Okay, where whatever, I'll set the fucking scene for you. The mothership or whatever, the big colony ship is above the planet, and there are people down on the planet that went in via dropship, right? And they're in trouble. The colony ship is trying to establish radio contact, but there's this big storm, and they're supposed to only get like 80 kilometers from the storm. Otherwise, the ship is going to possibly suffer severe structural damage, and they could lose all of these colonists that they have in cryosleep, whatever. So this is really established at one point in the film where, because of course pilot dude's wife is down on the goddamn planet, and so he's like, I want to take this thing closer, and they're like, no, it'll blow up the goddamn fucking ship, you can't do that. Then 15 minutes later, he's like, fuck it, I'm going closer, and they're all like, okay. Just terrible decision after terrible decision. Thanks for the stream. Would you rather change your last name to Hitler or have to watch Jack and Jill 400 times a year for the rest of your 400 times a year means that, like, a few days I gotta watch it twice. I'd rather change my last name to Hitler. Why can't Hollywood write decent characters anymore? They can. I mean, there's still movies with decent characterization and stuff. It's just, it's lazy. It's laziness now to write characters that are just, because it's hard. It's hard to make people care about a character. So what you want to do is make people, try and distract people with everything else on the screen and just throw a bunch of characters in there and have a bunch of expository dialogue to establish them, and we're supposed to care. It's just laziness, that's all it is. I mean, it's been around forever. It's not like a new thing that, there are a lot of dog shit films. I'm afraid for the new Blade Runner as well. It could be really good. I mean, like, certainly the atmosphere looks correct, but Jared Leto is hit and miss. He features prominently. What's that other fucking dude's name? He's in every goddamn thing now. It's not Bradley Cooper, but somebody else. I don't know. That dude. And then they're just obstinate insistence to bring Decker back. Trot out fucking Harrison Ford's old ass again. I mean, look, I love Harrison. I just am tired of seeing him reprise characters he's already played as an old man. I'm done with it, man. Why Decker too? So now he's going to be Decker as an old man, Indiana Jones as an old man, Han Solo as an old man. Just tired of it. So that's why I'm worried about the Blade Runner film. The trailer is beautiful, and some of the environments look dead on. I mean, it's just like beautiful, but oh dude, yeah, Harrison Ford could get better roles. That's the thing. It's just like people are just constantly writing these films for him to reprise old characters. Yeah, dude, Aliens is like the pinnacle of practical effects in film, in my opinion. It just has everything. It has everything. If you look at the behind-the-scenes, content that comes with, like, the Aliens special editions and shit, you can probably find it online. It's just, like, absolutely stunning how much work went in. I mean, the thing has great practical creature effects. Maybe even better than the creature effects in Alien. The problem is that Alien not only has great practical creature effects, it has great practical everything. Great practical sets, great miniature sets, great fucking use of blue screen to use miniatures and fucking, like, there's a scene in there that you would swear looking at it. And it's a small scene in the film, but it establishes so much ambiance. The scenes with the trucks outside of Hadley's Hope, the big transport trucks or something. They just look real, and they're pulling in and out, And that's all miniatures, shot at the perspective to make them look bigger than they are. And the conceit is total. You know what I mean? Absolutely and utterly total. When I was a kid, I never thought, "Oh, look at those little toy trucks they're trying to pass off." It was just absolutely like, "Oh man, futuristic trucks, cool." I love the thing. Like I said, practical creature effects. Maybe they do take the taco, but overall, as a showpiece for what is possible with practical special effects, I can't think of a better example than Aliens. Can you imagine what would happen if well, you don't really have to imagine it, because you can go watch the Lord of the Rings trilogies, which were woven completely with practical effects and computer effects meant to blend seamlessly. So, that's a great example of what movie studios could do were they committed to making these things, practically. It's a shame the new thing has so much CGI. I know. It's just like they lose the soul of the film when they do these reboots, and it's never good. They just need to stop. But they're not going to. Nothing ever dies anymore, guys. I told TJ that earlier. We were talking about this shit. He was like, "I just think they just need to let Alien die." And I was like, nothing ever dies anymore. Like, it may go away for a while, but there'll be another reboot for us to be disappointed in 5 or 10 years in the future. It's just a waiting game. Which alien design do you think is the best? The Queen alien. I mean, the Queen is the most. Fuck, man. That thing haunted my fucking dreams as a kid. What a crazy giant puppet they built. Man, way more fucking menacing than any of these fucking CG aliens. They try and make these new xenomorphs faster and more ninja-like and shit, and it just removes everything. Gone. TJ remarked to me, like, what happened to the stealthy xenomorph that was always like sneaking right behind people and shit? That don't exist no more. They just, and that's really how they are in this. They just go, they're just like wild wolves or some shit running around, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, oh dude, the Queen alien in Aliens is by far. You're overcritical. Just enjoy it. No, I can't will myself to enjoy something I don't enjoy. Come over here and suck my dick. And before you say, no, I don't want to, just come over here and enjoy it. Shut up. Don't be critical. Just enjoy it. Covenant was even worse than Prometheus. Oh, yeah. By a country fucking mile, yo. What do you think is the best horror film ever made? I mean, short list, probably Night of the Living Dead, the 60s version, the original black and white Romero version. I'd put The Exorcist on that list. I don't know, man. The Witch. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, it's a great movie. I don't know if I'd put it in the annals of horror or even put it close to the top. Thoughts on the Planet of the Apes reboot? I need to watch. There've been a couple since the last one I watched. I've just missed out on the franchise, I guess. I've heard it's decent. I saw the one where Caesar is introduced and he breaks out of the lab or whatever. I think there's been 2 films since then, or there's one other one, and then there's one coming out soon. Either way, I'm a little behind. I have not seen Harbinger down. Andy Serkis is amazing, I agree. Keep away from Pumpkinhead unless you're tired of living. His enemies are mostly dead. He's cruel and unforgiving. That's actually a really good horror movie. It's a great creature feature, and it's like really, really fucking atmospheric. I love some of the destination shots in that film. The creepy old cemetery that he goes to, the old woman's house in the swamp, his little fucking store, all very memorable sets. You know what I mean? Pumpkinhead is one of those movies I could sit and talk about for a long time. And it's kind of disregarded as just kind of a cheesy 80s schlocky horror movie, which it is. It is, but there's a lot there, man. The Blob. Yeah, dude, the 80s version, man. Fuck. That's actually a good remake. Or at least a worthy remake. I liked the 80s Blob. Get down. You know you ain't supposed to be jumping up. Yeah, 80s Blob is fun, dude. It's a fun flick. Yeah, I never played any of the Pumpkinhead PC games. Yeah, we were talking about The Thing earlier. What's been interesting me lately? I've been trying to get back into reading the news more, which sounds kind of silly, but I was talking to the guys earlier about, there was a point in time in my life, interestingly enough, when I was working for Starbucks, where I was way more informed about current events than I am now. I kind of divested myself from reading the news because I found it to be like a major depressor in my life. But now that I have a use for it, I think it would be a smart thing for me to start reading the news again. So I've been really trying to keep up to date on current events and follow the things that are going on in the world that are at least being talked about in political and media circles. Because it's interesting times we're living in, folks. A modern Pumpkinhead, yeah, dude, they would probably fuck it up. It'd be some CGI nightmare. Oh no, look, it's Pumpkinhead. I don't know. Pumpkinhead is not some deep thing, but I just like the setting of it, man. This old kind of backwoods voodoo hoodoo shit. It's a great idea. Inspired by a creepy poem, it's pretty cool. His name was Seth Rich. I love the deflector shield of Seth Rich that all the Trumpies are holding up. Also dislike the focus of the androids in the movie of the Aliens. What? Oh yeah. Well, yeah, the focus on the android shit. I mean, whatever. If it was I guess it kind of is a means to an end, but I just hate the idea of it. I hate the conceit that the aliens had to be created not by some alien race, because that's what we thought before, but no, it's David who actually made the modern xenomorph, right? David created some biological hybrid thing. Fuck. Why do it's just never a good idea, guys, in movies to go back and tell people how it happened, to go back and look at the past. Let's see, Indiana Jones. I mean, like, they do it in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade as an intro to the film, not as its own film. Like, can you imagine Kid Indy the film? No, man. I don't want to see the past and everything. Man, I don't need to know why the xenomorphs exist. I don't need to know. I was okay with inserting the fucking, what are they called again? The engineers, yeah. And implying that they kind of sowed the seed or whatever. That was kind of Prometheus's bent. But now this movie says, nope, it weren't even them. 666. Upside down, balls deep. I don't know. I don't know if I'm even gonna bother going balls deep tonight, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I've got balls deep in me right now, dude. I don't know if it's balls deep in me right now. Do I think Courtney killed Kurt? I don't know if Courtney did it, but I think somebody did. Yeah, dude. It really was a just ponderous film to watch. Do you think Kurt killed Courtney? I don't know. Did he? That'd be cool if Kurt's zombie came back and ate Courtney's brains. Poetic justice. You a fan of war movies? If so, what is your favorite one? I like war movies. I mean, war movies fall plague to the same bullshit that every other movie falls plague to, so there are shit war movies and good ones. I like Bridge Over the River Kwai. I like, I mean, fucking Full Metal Jacket. I like, oh man. Here's where being a stoner sucks. What's the one with Colonel Kurtz? Oh. Apocalypse Now. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. All's Quiet on the Western Front is a great movie too. Hey Paul, remember when I asked about whether you were going to see Covenant and caution not getting too excited? Well, that was a thing. Well, there you go. There you go, man. Das Boot. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I don't even really think of Das Boot as a war movie, although it certainly is. It's so intimate in its storytelling that it's hard to think of it that way because they're so removed from everybody else in that film and they're really contending with their own abilities to work together. But Das Boot is fucking fantastic, man. Oh man, one of my favorite soundtracks to a film ever. Das Boot. That fucking theme is just haunting. Oh man, just like takes me there. Donnie Darko, yeah, Donnie Darko, like whatever. Pulled a bunch of great 80s and shit 80s pop music. I mean, like the ambient stuff in Donnie Darko was pretty good too. I'm not gonna shit on it. I mean, summer blockbusters can be awesome though. You never know. I did not like the movie, no. Inception. Yeah, that was a good flick. I liked Inception. Oh, Das Boot is definitely worth watching. I mean, it's in German, so you gotta watch it in subtitles unless you speak German, but I definitely recommend it. It's a fantastic film. Is DP gonna talk about T-Foot and Sargon? I'd like to hear you guys' opinions on it. I don't know. I don't know if there'll be a discussion on that or not. I mean, stopping short of saying that I agree with everything that he said, I don't blame him for jumping ship on the skeptic / anti-SJW community. It's starting to get real shitty, guys. And I've seen it happen in the past. Like, the YouTube atheist community went the same way, and it sucks. I was way more invested in that community than I am this anti-SJW shit. I ain't gonna shed a single tear when fucking that shit is gone. I'm just sick to death of it. I'm sick to death of the formulaic nature of it. I'm sick to death of hearing 18 different personalities hiding behind 18 different retarded squirrels or dead fucking rulers of non-existent countries and shit. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the formulaic nature of the anti-SJW community. I'm tired of the cozying up to the alt-right and pretending that that's a fucking cool thing when while on the other side of your mouth you're talking about how you're a leftist. I just don't like it, man. So I don't blame him for jumping the fucking ship. And yes, it is. I mean, it's just going to go the way of YouTube atheism. There's going to be a long period of time where people hold on to it, and it's going to be really cringy for people as they start to grow out of it, find other things, find other channels to watch. It's going to be really weird to go back and watch some of these fucking videos. Not only to go back and watch them, but to watch how long people continue to hammer away at them, as if it's still relevant. It's just, it got covered to death. I mean, that really is what the internet in general does with a topic. It takes that topic and discusses every aspect of that topic from every conceivable way a million times until it's meaningless to everybody. That was what happened to YouTube atheism. That's what's going to happen to YouTube anti-SJWism. I mean, it's just... Have I ever walked out of a movie? Yeah, I walked out of Cool World. It's the only movie I've ever walked out of. I went to go see Cool World, and I couldn't hang, so I got the fuck out of there. I don't recommend watching it. Alien Covenant sucked shit. I talked about it at length at the beginning of this. I hate how the left can be slandered over SJWs, but the right gets a pass on the alt-right, legit racist, Christian fundies, etc. I mean, not only that, not only do they get a pass on it, but it's like these people are cozied up to because they happen to share an opinion with you on something. It's like, look, oh, these alt-right people also hate anti-SJWs. Let's invite them over here and bring them into our little camp. And it's like, whoa. Slow down, buddy. The enemy of my enemy is not always my friend. And I mean, let's be honest here. Let's just take a figure of the alt-right that was trumpeted all over the anti-SJW community. It was just worshipped like a fucking golden god, Milo Yiannopoulos, right? I'm not going to try and tap dance on his grave, but let's just look at some of this dude's positions. How revered was he in the skeptic community because he happened to share an opinion on SJWs? This is a dude that was giving fucking actual, unironic, talks at universities about Catholicism being 100% right and infallible, and why Catholicism is the best religion in the world. Where was your skepticism on that one, guys? Was it just too buried under your fucking desire to suck the dick of a dude that happened to not like feminists too? I think that's what it was. Because I don't know many skeptics that are willing to bring people in talking about fucking Catholicism like it's a worthy topic. So, whatever. I'm not saying that one bad opinion invalidates a good opinion. I'm just saying that why do you have to cozy up to people that are ideologically completely the opposite of you in order to accomplish some common goal? They call it an uneasy alliance. Doesn't seem like the alliance is all that uneasy these days. Seems like it's a pretty fucking easy alliance now. What's your opinion on Paul Joseph Watson? I don't really have one. Segregate? No. There's nothing wrong with talking with people across the aisle. I just think that going so far as to jump in bed with those people is unnecessary. If I get to beat feminists, but I advance the cause of like backwards ass Republican politics, and in doing so, I elevate some fucking media, right wing media figure to godhood, just because he doesn't like feminists like I do. I don't think that's a necessary thing for a skeptic to do. I've never seen much value as a skeptic in bringing into the fold people who are not skeptical in order to prove a point. I haven't watched you in quite some time, so I have a couple of questions. Have you ever published any written works? If not, would you ever consider doing so? No, I've never published anything. Would I consider doing so? I may. I do a lot of writing, or I have in the past done a lot of writing, so it's something that I love doing, even if I'm hypercritical of my own work to the point of never showing it to anybody. Calling out a trans person you tried to force. What? Okay. You're a memester. Do you think that if you wanted to, you might be able to say, oh man, you're one of those. The skeptical community ceased to be such when they stopped being skeptical. Yeah. I mean, it's time to jump ship, dude. It's just time. The bullshit is getting too much to bear. Like, it's starting to stink up in here. Like the Trump love, dude. That's really what did it for me. I was just like, really? Trump. Okay. Skeptics. I was a Trump skeptic. That's why I didn't vote for him. That's why I didn't advocate for him. We should call our globalist robot controller Zed or Z, because it will make all the decisions for us in the end. Okay. You really recently had a tapeworm removed. Have you considered getting one to help with the weight loss thing? I think I'll just stick with like exercise and diet and steer clear of the parasite. I understand being hypercritical of your own works, but I would be highly interested in reading any of your work. I've always loved the way you present topics and expand on them. Oh, well. I mean, like, it's a long thing to write a book. I have several different ideas for books that have just languished in my mind for a very long time, and who knows if one of them will ever see the light of day. I don't know. I've also got a lot of script ideas poking around up here, so we'll see. The best political party are the xenomorphs. Yeah, dude. Xenomorphs. Sargon misrepresents on a regular basis, not to defend Thunderfoot, but these guys are all washing out at this point. I don't know about washing out. I mean, I'm sure Sargon will continue to be very popular for a long time. I'm just not interested. I mean, I saw Thunderfoot's critique, and I saw his kind of defense of the critique, and I thought that he was dishonest in his defense. Maybe Thunderfoot was a little dishonest in the way that he cut that thing, but I think that fucking Sargon's denouement is like, oh, well, maybe we really are here to talk about a serious problem. And then they go on to, you know what I mean, gleefully. And he's like, it's black humor, it's dark humor, that's blah, blah. I'm fine with all of that. And I'm not claiming there's some sanctity in talking about somebody's death right after it happened or something. Contextually speaking, that's okay. But when you're doing it to try and prove a fucking point, before all the facts are out, I really do, there is something a little distasteful about that. Certainly not a group of people that I want to be fucking chilling with and associated with. I don't think they committed some fucking capital offense by joking about it, but they weren't trying to prove a point. Then why the fuck were they doing it? And what was the point of doing a live stream and raking in all those fucking ducats on that fucking live stream, man? It just was thoughtless. I don't know if it was nasty. It was just a thoughtless thing to do. Because we've gotten so gleeful about bad things happening to our ideological opponents, that it's okay, it's cool for us now to get together and make a bunch of fucking fucked up jokes when somebody in our, even if it's in the periphery of our community, is killed. And they do the same shit to us. They made a video about Thunderfoot's dad dying of cancer. Let them burn. Two wrongs don't make a right. And I'd rather not be in the camp that thinks that answering bullshit like fucking with somebody's dad when he's dying of cancer should be answered back by doing the same fucking thing. I mean, look, dude, I'll fuck on a person. I'll call a person's ideas stupid till I'm blue in the face. I'll make fun of people's appearances. I'm not above any of this shit. But, I try and steer clear of dancing on somebody's fucking grave, especially when I don't have all the fucking information. You know what I mean? What's your opinion on the way that Trump says he will, but actually yesterday he flew to Russia and didn't? What? What, Brent Spiner? What are you talking about? Sargon chokes on Trump's fucking cock. Of course he will be popular. All the retards are jacking off to him. Whoa, buddy. I had to abruptly stop smoking weed after being a daily smoker for 5 years. It sucks ass. Oh yeah, dude, I've cold turkeyed out. It sucks. What are you gonna do? They made some edgy jokes between themselves, and during the stream even said that it had nothing to do with feminism. Whatever. It had nothing to do with feminism, but it did have something to do with raking in ad dollars on somebody's death. And laughing about somebody being fucking outright murdered and using their name and shit. I don't know. That's just not the kind of person I am. I'm not hoping for fucking somebody to murder my political opponents, and I don't want people to die to make me right. I take no joy in that. The vid was monetized. Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, if you're gonna spend a couple hours with your buddies tap dancing on the grave of somebody whose corpse isn't even fucking cold yet, why not monetize it at that point? I mean, what the fuck? Have you ever thought about just ignoring and becoming apathetic to politics? No. I mean, maybe I've thought about it, but you can't really do that and be a member of this society that cares at all about what's going on, even if you got no power to change it. You gotta at least know, to the best of your ability, what the fuck is going on, or try to. They made jokes at Russian Deadpool's expense, and Sargon didn't even say shit and was on, well, whatever. I mean, a bunch of those dudes were there. And it's just I don't know, man. Another one of these slap fights. Do you like Seattle bands like Tad, Mudhoney, and Soundgarden? I mean, I like Mudhoney and Soundgarden for sure. Can you do a Pimp Monk Floyd Have a Cigarette parody? No. Nope. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for chilling.